Hey, in this video I'm going to be making Chilean style empanadas. Alright, so I've got my mixing bowl out of the freezer, as well as my flour was in the fridge, butter was in the fridge. Everything needs to be cold as possible for this pie dough. So just go ahead and toss in your flour and butter together. I have them cut into about 1/2 inch little cubes here. So I first want to just toss the flour with the butter just to make sure that all of the butter cubes are evenly coated. Try not to break it up, just give it a little pinch until it turns into like a 1/2 walnut size. That's what we're looking for. Now what we're gonna do is just slowly add in the water. I made a well in the bowl and slowly tossed it together. Not so much mixed it, but just gave it like a toss because we don't want to activate so much gluten in this. We want it to be a nice flaky crust. Of course, and then once it's come together like this, just go ahead and wrap it up, toss it in the fridge for about 30 minutes or so, and then it'll be ready to roll out. Okay, so now we're gonna start the filling. This is gonna be a picadillo, and in my picadillo, all I do is some ground beef, some diced onion, and some diced potato. Then we're gonna add in a liquid of chile guajillo and garlic and some other spices. We're just gonna go ahead and sear off the ground beef. Okay, once we've gotten a good amount of color on our ground beef, we're just gonna go ahead and set it aside on a separate pan. And then in the same pan, gonna go ahead and toss in the onions and the potatoes. Season that generously. You wanna get some color on this. Once it gets some color, we're gonna toss the meat back in. Once you get a good amount of color on this, just go ahead and add the ground beef back in. And then we're just gonna add in our chili ancho puree. All this is some dried chili ancho mixed in with some oregano, rice wine vinegar, and garlic, blended till fine. You can find these chilies in the Mexican aisle at most grocery stores. Just add in about 2 cups of chicken stock. Now we're just gonna continue to cook this and stir occasionally until it reduces down until thick. Put it onto a sheet tray with parchment or just any sort of container to cool it off, really. Go ahead and refrigerate, let it chill for at least 2 hours. We need this to be completely cooled so we can fill the empanadas. All right, it's time to roll this stuff out. Now I'm just gonna roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Go ahead and turn it every time you roll it out, just in my last video with the tortillas, just so it doesn't stick to the board. Now once I got them all cut out the way I want them, I just go ahead and roll them very lightly into an oval shape. The reason why I roll them into an oval shape is so when you fold them, it's a perfect half circle instead of a little crescent. Just want to take an ice cold baking sheet and put some parchment paper on there. And then we could set our empanada dough on there. Now I'm just gonna take a little spoonful of the picadillo filling and set that on there. Now, of course, if you want these to be dinner size, go ahead. This is a nice little appetizer size that I'm making here. All you have to do is just make them a little bigger circles, or maybe even just cut rectangles. Whatever shape you want is fine. Okay, these guys are ready to go. I went ahead and just got some water, dipped my finger in that, and then just worked my way around the rim, just like I did with the dumpling video. Then I just went ahead and packed it in tight, tucked the edges in, and then made little vents on the outside just so the filling doesn't leak out when it's baking. So we're gonna go ahead and toss this in the fridge for another 30 minutes to an hour before we bake it. Okay, about an hour later, these have firmed up. We're about to toss them into an oven that is at 425 Fahrenheit. I went ahead and I brushed them with a little bit of egg wash, just an egg and some water. And then I'm just gonna let them go for about 15 minutes until deep dark golden. Okay, so fresh out the oven, these look really good. I had them in there for about 20 minutes. Now you just wanna let these cool off for about 10 minutes or so, and there you go, you're good to go. I'm gonna serve it with some of this chimichurri. All this is that Derek Wolf garlic herb rub with some olive oil, a little bit of lime, mixed in, pinch of salt, delicious. And then of course I'm gonna do it with some whipped lemon yogurt. Now this is a Chilean style. My grandma was actually born in Chile and her family eats pretty much everything with Greek yogurt. So I thought I'd throw that in there. All right, time to go ahead and do the taste test here. That's tasty. I wouldn't lie to you. Oh man, it's good. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching the video. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one.